Ladies and gentlemen, reaction. This is how did the God Emperor react to Guilliman's resurrection? Warhammer 40k lore by the channel Major Kill. Yes, I think I watched the. I'm pretty sure I watched the. How did the galaxy reacted to Guilliman's resurrection? But this is a different video. First, I saw this in recommendation. I'm like, I did this, but no, this is about the Emperor, not the galaxy. First of all, I didn't even know. Until very recently the Emperor actually talks in the first place. I thought that was like one of those things like Emperor doesn't talk, right? That's why that text to speech device comedy series was really fun. But apparently he does talks to some people, but I guess it's like it's here and there, right? Whether you believe it or not, this kind of thing. It's not like hard thing, like it definitely communicates something like that, as far as I can as far as I can feel the lore. But obviously lots of people tell me in comments it definitely communicates with some people, so I guess that's what this is going to be, like how Emperor is going to react. But didn't Emperor had a hand in Guilliman's resurrection? Like, isn't this Emperor's plan or something? I don't know. It's going to be fun. I like reacting to Major Kill because his videos are really short, let's just say. Any other Warhammer videos, even the Brick's one, like, Adaptus, Ridiculous, whatever the channel is, which is Warhammer channel of his, is basically an hour plus, right? Brick's main channel sometimes has like 30-minute, 40-minute videos. But overall, all videos are like hour to hour long. And Major Kill is really like 10, 15 minutes, right? I mean, I did try to make a lot of looting videos, but couldn't finish it because it's so long. I don't want to make 10-part video, because people can't even find the parts. Then they comment me like, did you react to the 5th part? I already did 3 months ago, and it's all weird thing. So I try to make 1 or 2 part videos if I can, and Major Kill is the easy thing. So yeah, let's go with it.
Hey guys and gal, the resurrection of Guilliman was the biggest event in Warhammer 40k lore since the Horus Heresy. It took the galaxy by complete surprise.
Now it's
All
Wolf.
prophecies and predictions were instantly cancelled, with even the most twisted future seers of the warp being blindsided. The fact that it was coupled with the fall of Cadia as well as
Wolf,
the
Lion. Why does a wolf?
added that extra spice. After all, if the galaxy hadn't just shit the bed, then the arrival of Guilliman and his Primaris would have pretty much spelt GG well played in favour of the Imperium. Needless to say, there was a lot of different reactions. Most of them were surprised. I've actually made a video already covering what the galaxy's reaction was, but I didn't include the Emperor in that video, who had a very strong and...
I like how even he watched his video just half. I know he probably, click on the middle of the video before, closing the window, but still, it's funny.
Very interesting reaction, so I thought I would give him his own video. After all, it is the Emperor. Before we get started, there's more to Manscaped than just shaving your dick without dicing it up like sashimi. Although that is pretty great. But did you know that Manscaped as a brand covers a wide spectrum of male hygiene and grooming products? A badass single-bladed razor that gives you a clean, rash-free finish. Ball deodorant that eliminates stanky dick, body soap and hair wash that smells unreal. Like I use it so much I can't even show you what it looks like because I just ran out. Roll-on deodorant that leaves you feeling and smelling fresh all day. The only thing they need now is Manscaped mouthwash and toothpaste and I'm done, that's everything. But the hero of today's partnership...
Not gonna lie, I'm surprised how Major Kill is still monetized with all the cursing and everything. And I get people in the comments all the time, why are you reacting to Major Kill? Because not necessarily they don't like the content, because they don't like his cursing and all that, like dark way of saying things. I'm like, come on man, chill out, it's fun.
Is the new breathable anti-chafe smooth boxers. They feel great and look great, having a variety of designs that show you mean business. They are perfect for everyday use. And you can get a discount on them if you get them in a 3-pack bundle. Then to get an even bigger discount on the bundle as well as every single Manscaped product, then use my link and code MAJORKILL for 20% off and free international shipping. Cheers to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Today we'll go over how the Emperor reacted to Guilliman's resurrection and why the reaction was such a big deal. Let's get into it. Before I get into the juicy flesh meat that is the love handles of this video, you're probably thinking, how the fuck does the Emperor react to something? Isn't he just a stale piece of beef jerky by this point? And you'd have a fair argument. The Emperor hasn't been in the chattiest mood since he was low-key murdered and put on a life support system that doubles as a torture chair. But we all know the Emperor's might comes from his soul and not his decrepit body. After 10,000 years of daily psycho-sacrifice and becoming one with the Astronomicon, his soul is burning brighter than ever, and is the main thing keeping the Imperium together. As such, yes, he does have a degree of consciousness and can react to shit. However, that doesn't mean he can do it easily. When his body was shattered, so was his soul and consciousness. It's now heavily fragmented, meaning he struggles with coherent thought. He is no longer human and presents as such, acting more on omnipresent instinct rather than a structured plan. For example, when he created the living saints to help counter greater demons, this probably wasn't a grand plan or human thought.
Okay, is that like a complete fact? That Emperor cannot really have a coherent thought in that human way, like he's more of a now an entity, an energy, who's like a reflex type of thing, his reaction and things. Is that actual fact, or is that just his interpretation? Because one thing I realized with many other videos that I've seen with different channels, that some things you have to interpret the way the lore is there, right? It's not hard coded. You have to interpret your own way. So is that what it is, or is that is that the thing? The Emperor doesn't have like human type thoughts anymore.
It was his godlike instinct to help mankind. I'm not even sure he was aware he created the living saints when he did. Likewise, he has occasionally blessed or even low-key possessed various humans at times to guide them towards achieving a goal, generally that goal being thwarting chaos. However, each of these actions requires a shitload of willpower and effort from the Emperor. He really struggles to pull himself together, or at least he did until Guilliman returned. Now, since the Great Rift opened at a similar time to G-Man's revival, the reaction he had took a blend of both events. Firstly, he was like, holy fucking shit, the galaxy just shat the pants, dude, with the psychic backlash of the Great Rift opening actually knocking him out for a bit, turning off the Astronomicon and dooming countless people. He was able to turn it back on after about a month, but since time across the galaxy gets a little funky, for some people this took a century or more. However, when Guilliman busted 3 nuts to get to Terra to speak with his father—
Wait a minute, what? Did you just say time in galaxy is different? How? How does that work? I mean, he uses warp in a way. Basically, that's what it is, right? This kind of, whatever thing that they talk about in this, right? From web-based to God knows what. This is like warp type technology, right? Astronomicon and everything. Basically, you can just go from one place to another with no time at all. Because in real world, time doesn't change. I mean, obviously, time changes a bit here and there because of the gravity, but uniformly it's kind of the same, right? If the light takes time coming here, it's because it's literally traveling. If you can just warp it there, time doesn't change that much. So why did it take 100 years somewhere else? Is there a real thing in this Warhammer where time is not the same thing, same constant everywhere? Because that would change a lot of shit, man. That would change a lot of perceptions of how people see events.
The Emperor was pleased. Not to see a son, no. The Emperor never really considered the Primarch's sons, only forming that bond with them as a form of manipulation. To be honest, he kind of resented them and their need for glory and recognition.
Are you sure about that? I mean, because whole the Horus heresy and how he got screwed in the first place, but it felt like his emotions got in the way. He couldn't believe that his favorite son Horus did that shit, because from the start it's like, oh, look at that, it's like my all this gene seed is malfunctioning, whatever, the Primarchs, they have to go, I'll make another one. If his mentality was that, I don't think he would have died like that. He would have crushed Horus easily. But all the way up until the end, he was like in disbelief type of thing. Every action of his felt like that. And in the end, like kamikaze way, he just killed Horus and killed himself in the process. He could have taken out Horus much earlier, but he was just like in disbelief. So I'm not so sure about that. He didn't see them as his son,
So when the Emperor saw G-Man, he reacted as if he had just found a long-lost favorite tool. Guilliman was a bit offended because, a bit emotionally vulnerable after waking up to find the Imperium a toxic, superstitious mess and having just fought off Magnus as well as a massive Cornite invasion. Guilliman would go on to describe the conversation like talking to a star instead of a human. The gist of it was that the Emperor was shitty and dying, but hadn't yet truly given up. instructing Guilliman to take command and do his best to save mankind. We don't get to see the full conversation in the lore, however an absolute fucking legend by the name of Balam95, I mean yeah, probably not his real name, made a fan fiction of the conversation which fits in extremely well without sucking off his own dick like so many fanfiction writers end up doing. Most people that have read it are actually surprised to learn that it's a fan fiction if they didn't read the small print. In saying that, the fan fiction has kind of become no longer relevant.
I think GW should take Bethesda Game Studio approach. I think they already did, right? Where they basically hire the community if they're good enough. I think they're already doing that. They hire a lot of channels, right? So if somebody's lore just feels really accurate enough, like the way they write, their writing is great, they should think about hiring them. Because this could just expand shit. And lore is always better. Doesn't matter who you are. One thing you learn, if something story is great, doesn't matter if it's a game or whatever, tabletop game, video game, whatever, books, novels, it will just work. Because throughout the years, the best movies out there is probably based on some novel. Best games are probably based on some novel, right? Some kind of here and there. This rarely you'll find something is completely original. Like Witcher is based on novels. The Metro games are based on novels. And look at how great they are. You can just feel that. There's meat inside them. Like this, Elder Scrolls are probably based on Tolkien's, right? Somewhat. They take something from there and they created this world. So you can kind of give credit to Tolkien's there.
As recent lore in the form of Godblight shows us some of the convo, in that it has Guilliman asking for guidance, while the Emperor has a fucking aneurysm and just keeps saying contradictory things. He eventually is able to pull himself together to tell Guilliman that he is mankind's last hope in his own weird way, which is, no pressure G-Man. Funnily enough, the fanfiction and canon convo are very similar. The only big difference is that in canon, the Emperor is an absolute mess and struggles to articulate his message, whereas the fanfiction has the Emperor as fully coherent but cynical. Both are good, and I'm recommending checking them both out. So that was the Emperor's initial reaction to Guilliman's resurrection. He was pleased but cynical and fragmented. Guilliman was disappointed by the encounter and shocked by how cold and damaged the creature he called father actually was. The Emperor did give Guilliman his flaming sword as a badge of office, and also because it's fucking awesome, so there's that at least. But wait, there's more. G-Man then goes off on his Indomitus crusade, saves the galaxy, claps some cheeks, then goes to Ultramar to fight Mortarion. Now G-Man should have learned the last time he fought a demon Primarch that he isn't the greatest duelist on the best of days. Hence Morty gains the upper hand and injects Guilliman with the Godblight, a virus that can kill even a Primarch. And it works. Guilliman rapidly deteriorates, shits himself, and dies. But he survives! Unlike the last time Guilliman died, the Emperor directly intervenes and saves Guilliman.
Oh my god. Imagine Emperor. Like, you mother... I basically resurrected you and somehow you died again. How weak ass are you? I mean, seriously, I get it. You're a great, competent Primarch with a great battle strategy and fucking whatever. But how weak ass are you? And imagine him like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna resurrect Lionel Johnson because I'm tired of this weak ass shit. We need somebody who's just better, who's just overall better, a great warrior, great battle master, probably better than Horus himself. So yeah.
Instantly curing him of the Godblight, possessing his body, smacking Morty for being a naughty boy, before then setting Nurgle on fire for a laugh. Why the fuck didn't he pull this shit before, I hear you ask? Well, here's the ironic thing about the opening of the Great Rift. Sure, it flooded the galaxy with warp energy, meaning demons were stronger and more present, and psychers increased in power and instability. But guess who's the strongest psyker of them all? That's right, the God Emperor of man-fucking-kind. The warp energy that flooded into his cosmic bones has allowed him to reunite his consciousness with significantly more ease. It's still difficult for him, but the fact that he can instantly cure the most horrific disease in the galaxy and then
that's some next level shit.
Is quite the step up from just sitting there and silently screaming all the time. The Emperor intervening like this, even to go as far as to...
I mean, the Nurgle thing makes me think like, holy shit, how powerful is Emperor now, right? I mean... This is going to be interesting going forward because even without Emperor's resurrection, he's already way too powerful, isn't he? And you can kind of see where, I guess, the Chaos Gods were coming from when they basically did this heresy in the first place. Because they see this coming, right? Like how powerful he's getting. This is why I think he's like one of the old ones, right? He must be the old ones. Because Chaos Gods didn't exist during that time. War of the Heavens. They were created very later, I guess. because of all this, yeah. Before there was just like, serenity, calm, whatever it was, right? Before the war of the heavens. So I guess he must be one of the old ones who can possess that level of power, right? Or maybe the leader of the old ones that somehow survive. That must be the Emperor. Because Emperor can just fuck up any chaos, guys. You can see where the threat is coming from.
Called Guilliman his son again during the intervention represents a dramatic shift in his attitude from when he first saw the Lord of Ultramar. When they first met, the Emperor was like, yeah sure, do whatever you want, who the fuck cares, we're screwed anyways. But now it's like, holy shit, this blonde boy is actually doing it. The motivation of seeing Guilliman work so hard to save the Imperium, combined with the extra warp juice he now has, gave him the will to fight. Like, as he is possessing Guilliman, he speaks of things that were previously seemed totally impossible. Stuff like curing demon Primarchs of their corruption and restoring them to their former selves. He even tells Nurgle that he's gonna straight up murder his ass, so yeah, the Emperor isn't fucking around this time.
What the fuck?
People aren't super keen on the fact that the Emperor can now just seemingly save the day at the last minute, giving Guilliman a ton of plot armor. But here's why what happened is actually fine. Firstly, Chaos pulls shit like this all the time, reviving dead champions, teleporting champions to safety at the last second.
He's just evening the playing field.
Demons will always regenerate when the plot demands it. Secondly, I don't think this will be a regular thing. The Emperor likely had to clench real hard to pull this off, and the duel happened during a moment in intense warp spaghetti. For example, Nurgle literally manifested to watch the Emperor talk shit, so if there was ever a time when the situation was suitable for the Big E to make a clutch save, then it was now. If it does become a plot device where G-Men can now just Leroy Jenkins at Demon Primarchs no worries, then yeah, that would be retarded. But Warhammer writing has been pretty solid lately, so I doubt that will be the case. Guilliman isn't the only one.
It kind of makes sense, like, Guilliman was the only guy around this time. And he being overwhelmed and Emperor has to save him kind of makes sense. But now with the Lionel Johnson, future other Primarchs will return as well. The more support he gets, then I guess it will become like really powerful show where Emperor doesn't have to intervene. But he's right, Chaos Gods constantly intervene all the time. So why the fuck not? He's just evening the playing field. But this is so fucking good. He literally talks shit to Nurgle, threatened him. I didn't know that. This is all good, man.
One who the Emperor has been helping. The emissaries Imperiatus Custodes, who usually just sit around and jerk off all day, were told by the Emperor to help Guilliman and act as his heralds, who would drop off the...
What is that? OnlyFans? What is that? What is the new website? Everybody's like, but the OnlyFans, right? Yeah. Imagine them on the laptop watching OnlyFans all the time, just like, Guilliman was like, what the fuck are you doing? Let's go, we are going in crusade. Like, we are? Really? Okay, let's go. Everybody, you just think that, they are just standing there in the castle protecting Emperor, just, like guards, right? But in reality, they're just sitting around all the way, everywhere in the fucking castle, somebody in some kind of an arch, somebody just sitting down with a laptop, just, typing away, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Primarchs to the various minor chapters. Previously, it would take them years of meditation and discussion to determine if the Emperor just did a fart or a burp, but since the Great Rift opened, he was able to communicate with them much more clearly and concisely. Knowing all this, it can genuinely be argued that the Emperor is back. I do like how the writers have changed this.
See, this is why I love this, text-to-speech device, because the body says like he's just talking to Custodes. I just remember that. I just remember a whole exchange of that. I still didn't finish that, but it's so fucking good.
Setting from the inevitable defeat of the Imperium to the wild, wild west, where either mankind could now achieve a total victory or the Imperium could fall tomorrow. It makes it a lot more spicy. Well, at least until the rest of the Nids show up and devour everyone. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be. Only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of fun little drawn images that you should not show your kids. I don't want to pause here. Go away. Ever. Hit the subscribe button.
There you go. All right. Seriously, this video was so good because I did not see the Nurgle exchange coming. That's so fucking good, right? Which book it is, right? I really want to read this book because I'm afraid to read, Warhammer books. There's so fucking many. But I guess it's gonna be one of the latest books, I guess. With the 10th edition, right? This is the 10th edition, the latest one, or 11th edition, I don't know. The 10th edition with the Lionel Johnson. They put out a new book, new lore book, because I definitely want to check that out as well. But yeah. I'm guessing there are not many lore videos are coming out about the Lionel Johnson resurrection. I guess there are not books out yet or something like that, but I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure I haven't seen any other, any other lore video about the Lionel Johnson and what he's doing now. because all the videos about the Guilliman and Resurrection and the Crusade after that, not about the Lionel Johnson. But yeah, it's gonna be fucking fun. Alright, people, that was how did the God Emperor react to Guilliman's resurrection? Like a badass, didn't see that coming, right? Even the total Nurgle is gonna fuck him up. But I'm seeing the WWE exchange, right? With all the fucking shit talk and everything. But yeah. Right, this was by the channel Major Kill. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. Comment down if you want to react to any other Warhammer video. I don't know. I really want to resume text to speech device, but I guess you know, the algorithm's not pushing or whatever, not getting enough views. So I'm like, maybe I should hold it out for later, right? When the algorithm picks up, so people can actually see that I'm reacting to it. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you next time.